Hello everyone, Jobexi here, and this is episode 1 of Let's Play the Stanley Parable. Just to let you know, I've already played this game. I've played it through, I've gotten all the endings, so this is not a blind playthrough, but I would like to provide my commentary on the game if any of you are interested. I really enjoyed this game. It brought to light a couple of interesting game design questions that I kind of wanted to bring out and maybe discuss a little as we play. And if that's at all interesting to you, which I hope it is, I do hope you enjoy this stuff in the upper left-hand corner. I actually have the developers version because I was playing around with removing doors, but I won't be needing to do that in the actual playthrough. So yes, removing doors. After I've already played through the game, I found that removing doors and getting to places that you couldn't otherwise get to was pretty fun. A good way to bring new life to an old or a game that I've already beaten. It's not old; it's still a fairly new game. I really enjoyed this game. I played this almost as soon as it came out, and I beat it that night. It was a very good game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-lifting, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so that's us. That's where we can play. I may want to change the mouse sensitivity just a little bit. Take care of that, because it was a bit, yeah, it's a little bit better. Okay, wow, I moved pretty fast. Okay, I have played this before, but I'm for the first time thinking of it in terms of Let's Play, and yeah. So I Hate Mondays mug. I thought Stanley liked his job, but he's totally got an I Hate Mondays mug here. It doesn't mean he hates his job, it just means he hates Mondays. Just something to think about. 429, nothing accessible there. 428, nothing accessible there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it mean, indeed?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe he had.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
No, nothing at all. I can turn off computers. So yeah, doors aren't actionable in this game. Well, not all doors are actionable in this game. Doop-a-doo, hoop-a-doo. Okay, username access. Oh, I can turn off more computers. Yep. Okay, so we've got a couple of back doors. This is room 425 in here. Somebody was playing solitaire on their computer. There's a hallway back there. Maybe we'll explore that later. Okay, so let's think about who we are as Stanley. We're a guy who pushes buttons all day. And that's our job, right? We're told what to do.
To a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Okay, so when I played through this the first time, this was the first moment that it really hit me. Wait a minute. He just narrated something that I hadn't done yet. So this is the clear choice for me. Do I go with the narrator or do I not go with the narrator? So the first thing I did is I said, okay, if this is what kind of game it's going to be, I'll obviously have the opportunity to play it more than once. The first time, I'm just going to do what he says, and we'll see how this goes. So I think I'll walk you through my thought process there. And I'm very interested to hear some of your comments as well, if you've played the game or just watching me play the game. What do you think about, well, I'll ask questions specifically.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, so there's a whiteboard manager. We can tell a little bit about the kind of place that this is by the thing. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Synergize the papers. Hire someone to synergize the papers. The papers are too synergized. Fire the paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. And who moved my desk? Yes, who moved my desk? To standardize graphs to 40x wide is not cost efficient. Apparently. Not much else interesting. Also, notice the doors keep closing behind me. Bi-quarterly post-review review. Work harder, hard worker. Please no more charts. Please, I'm begging. Stop. What was the one thing I wanted to comment? Oh, here. Profits. Okay, so profits tell the future, obviously. Well, not the first kind of profit. You know what I'm talking about. They tell the future, obviously. And what are we in a game? What is the game that we're playing about? We're in a game where the narrator is trying to tell our future. He's trying to be a prophet. He walked down this hallway.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Right, so we're doing what he says this time around. So, just that thing. He's trying to prophesy our future.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
He's prophesying what it is that we'll do. Of course, we have the choice to disobey him, but I'm not going to do that right just now. Okay. I believe once that door closes behind me, I have access to the executive bathroom, which... not yet. Okay, eventually I have access to the executive bathroom. Once I get in there, I would like to stay there.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Okay.
2845.
2845. So let's take a look at that camera.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay, what is it recording? There's a piano here. I actually haven't. This is something new that I'm just picking up on. There's a camera, and it's recording what? The piano, this bookshelf. There's nothing over here. The keypad's over here. Yes, he did. Stanley's commentating right now.
The device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Thank you. Stanley's commentating right now. Fine. 2845. Okay. But let's think about that. I couldn't have known that, but the narrator's telling me that. So how does that work? Amazing. I also have to say this narrator. I mean that's his job. He's a voice actor that does narration for a living. I checked up on the website. It's in the credits. It's funny though. Anytime I hear his voice in other things, I think he's being the narrator in this game, and he's too snarky no matter what it is that he's saying. So he'll be doing like a commercial, way too snarky for that commercial. In any case, this narrator is amazing and perfect for this game.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself. to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Alrighty, so here we are. We're in the bowels
Stanley
of the
walked straight
machine.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
That's the one. Okay, so if light is on, call extension 914 immediately. I saw this the first go through because I look at like everything when I go through these games like this. I couldn't find anywhere to dial 914. I tried dialing it on the keypad in the back in the room we just came from, and it didn't work. So there's clearly an escape. We're doing what he says this time around, so let's see that.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Okay, so let's go over here. So apparently there's a horrible secret. You've got all these television screens over here. Pow.
Now the monitors jumped to life.
Okay.
Their true nature revealed. Each bore the
So
number
that person's
of an
been
employee
fired.
in the building. Stanley's
We're what, 427?
the
I
lives of
think
so
we
many
are
individuals reduced to images on a screen.
somewhere over here.
Eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay, when it comes up, look for 427 because we'll be somewhere over here, I think, when the digits change. 431's there, so we must be close. Maybe 427. 427. Yeah, they actually put our office. See, there's our office right there in the center. I can't indicate, but right there in the center, 247. So clearly, you know, we Stanley are, you know, also a part of this.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Okay, so let's think about this for a second. We're playing as Stanley, a person whose job it is to press buttons for a living. That's right. That's our job. We press buttons for a living. The orders stopped coming in, so he got up from his desk, went out to the hallway. What was the first thing that happened? The narrator said, Stanley reached a hallway with a choice of two doors. He chose the door on his left. Okay, so even right then and there, we reach a situation where, are we making the decisions? No, we're not really making the decisions. I suppose, I guess, you know, we could be making the decision if, you know, the decision was, do we choose to follow the narrator or not? But we chose to follow the narrator in this particular situation. So now we're at the mind control facility. We realize that, you know, our minds have been controlled this entire time, but we've been to get to this point, we've had to follow the narrator's direction completely every single time. It's the only way to get here.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Okay, so we're...
But here was the proof.
Yep.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, so we now have the option to dismantle that's a big screen TV. We now have the option to dismantle the mind control facility, but we're doing it at the behest of this narrator, this omnipresent voice that's leading us to completely shut down mind control. But it's his idea. So is it really our own idea to shut down the mind control, or is it his? where is the choice? Do we actually have the choice? Well, let's turn the power off because we're doing what he says in this round.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For
I did.
it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking.
It wasn't?
But happiness.
It was?
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
It is?
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
It will?
And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
It was?
Stanley stepped through the open door.
Did I? Okay, so... Aha. So let's think about this for a second. Yep, completely free from somebody else's control by following their every instruction. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? The idea... here's what I hypothesize. Doing something that somebody tells you does not lead to freedom of choice unless you chose outside of that control to do that thing anyway. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. I do know that we all have freedom of choice. But then again, that's up for debate too. I'm sure there are a lot of viewers out there that believe in absolute fate and that we cannot make our own decisions. I don't know. Let's have a discussion, a polite discussion, in the comments. Let me know what you think on this whole idea of choice and listening to somebody else, and where that factors in. And in the next episode, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to disobey the narrator every which way, and we're going to see where that gets us. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the comments.